What's going on, people? Back again, and we're here to talk everything Ring of Fire, Fury versus Alexander Usyk, the undisputed heavyweight champ. Let me just adjust this mic. Undisputed, baby. The undisputed heavyweight champion. First in 25 years, undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight. One of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Definitely the greatest cruiserweight of all time. Let's get to today's video. So the Ring of Fire was a pretty good event, man. I did enjoy it. You know, some of the predictions I made came true. Some came true in a more efficiently than I even thought, and some did not. So first up, we're gonna go through some of the picks of the night. And I was gonna start not necessarily in order, but some of the stuff I talked about that I'm really interested in. Now, I want to start with Jai OPETAIA and Marius BREIDIS. That was a shocker of a fight. Very, very tough fight. It was surprising. You know, I actually put money down on that one as well. And I actually put money down for a decision because the odds were so good. I think we've obviously seen Jai deal with other opposition very, very easily and very quickly. I think a lot of people and the odds were in the favor of Jai OPETAIA stopping BREIDIS, but I know that BREIDIS is a tough customer, very, very tough customer. I knew there'll be a chance that he would survive to the end, but I didn't realize how big of a chance it would be. So it was a very, very awkward fight on BREIDIS' part. Jai kind of controlled the early rounds with not much happening, moving this off in and out of range. And, you know, we got to talk about the crappy commentary. The commentary were talking about how Jai's hands are so much faster than BREIDIS, but that wasn't the case as far as what I was seeing. I was seeing that BREIDIS still has very fast hands when you get on the inside, and if you're throwing one or two, then BREIDIS can throw 2 or 3 back. And the first early exchanges, Jai was then throwing a couple more, and that was when he was coming off right in early exchanges. Now, towards the middle rounds, we started to see a couple of things that we need to talk about a bit. There were some rabbit punches to the back of OPETAIA's head. Very obvious, deliberate ones as well. Obviously, it's the dirty game, it is what it is. But I thought the rest of that stepped in and said something like that, because that might have something to do with how the rest of the fight looked. It kind of looked like OPETAIA got quite tired and started to get dazed. And I think it was, I can't remember what round it was, but BREIDIS like hurt him a couple times in there. And we know that BREIDIS is a very, very good fighter. This proves that, you know, he is defying the odds, being 39 years of age and having that ring rust and still being a very tough customer. But I don't want to give an excuse or anything like that, but did the punches to the back of the head have any bearing on how OPETAIA took the other punches? That's something that I do think that might have to be thought about and spoken about. Real quick, we go to Moses ITAUMA, and this was a complete mismatch. It's crazy, like the guy's record, the guy who fought his record, I think he had only 2 knockout losses to, I think, Safiri, was it? Or Tom Schwartz, he had it to Tom Schwartz, which kind of shows that he wasn't of a level. But it's going to be hard to match ITAUMA, so, you know, you've got to be kind of giving him a little bit of grace there. ITAUMA is a very talented heavyweight, and I look forward to seeing him have the step up now and, like, no longer these guys that are kind of coming to roll over. I mean, the guy was trying to give some resistance, but ITAUMA was just too fast, too quick, too powerful, and very tricky in that southpaw position. Very, very fast hands. And he threw, I think it was a right hook that ended, it might be a left hook, on a very off timing. He threw 2 shots, saw the guys off balance, and then that last hook that he threw was on the off time, and he was still able to develop that whip and that power. It was a very nasty knockout, or knockdown, should I say. So I want to see him step up now. Let's put him in versus, I don't know, Johnny Fisher, someone like that. Like, let's really give him a bit of a challenge and like push it, I think, man, because I might be rushing it. I think I am rushing it, to be fair. I think it's his 6th or 7th fight, but I'm excited to see this kid's future. Maybe you don't have to rush him, he's got plenty of time, but I know he wants to be world champion and beat Mike Tyson's record of being the quickest world champion, the youngest world champion. So he's got to get a move on. Joe Cordina, Anthony CACACE. Jeez, that was an unexpected one. I know there's some controversy. This is the point actually, she left the room at some point here, but I think Joe Cordina got caught on the break at the end of the round. Ref said break, and I think actually CACACE still threw a shot, and that rocks Cordina to his core. And he was never really able to recover from that. And he obviously got stopped in that fight. And it was a good stoppage at first. I was like, oh, they could let it carry on, but I think it was good. I think the ref stepped in the right time. We didn't need to see him laid out. He was taking quite a lot of punishment. CACACE looked massive in there. He looked like he was in a different weight class to Cordina. I don't know if it's just that CACACE rehydrated really, really well, or Cordina just had a bit of a difficult weight cut. He said it was a good one, so who knows? But yeah, that was a really, really big surprise on that one. But I'm really excited to see CACACE's future. Like, he stuck really close on Cordina, did not let him have any breathing room at all. Very, very good fighter there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him progress. Another surprise of the night, KABAYEL versus Frank Sanchez. Jeez, this KABAYEL, he's a dangerous guy, you know, because you don't expect it. I don't know if you see his demeanor. He always looks a little bit nervous, like he's just surprised that he's even here. But his body punching needs to be studied, because the way he can put the shots together to the body and just affect that body, from that first round, like, he was on to Sanchez. He did not give him any breathing room, shutting him down, and was straight away throwing those hooks to the body, round the side. Nice 2 fast hooks to the body, and it was stabbing that jab into the body as well. Like, and Sanchez was backing up way more than I thought he would. He has the faster hands than KABAYEL, and he seems to have the more powerful, more snapping shots. It seems like he threw a couple jabs at KABAYEL, stiff jabs, moved KABAYEL's head back, and I thought, yeah, this guy's got him. Like, but I did say KABAYEL will win, don't get twisted. But I did feel like, right, Sanchez he might spark him out here. And then KABAYEL just did not let him have any breathing room. He was not letting him off the hook, like, just staying on him, hitting that body. I don't know if Frank Sanchez had an issue with his legs because he had a brace on his knee, but I ain't giving no excuses. KABAYEL is he's a mean customer, and we need to watch out for him. The body shots to finish, same way he finished Makhmudov. Put him down once, put Frank Sanchez down once, got the count. Second time as well, straight away, attack straight to that body. And it was a jab straight through the solar plexus that actually took Frank Sanchez down. Whoa, listen, KABAYEL is going to be, he's one to watch out for. Next up, I would like to see him versus Joseph Parker, so he can kind of break into that top 5 realm. I know that was a final eliminator for the WBC, so he actually is eligible to fight for the title, but that's so tied up right now. Joseph Parker, KABAYEL, great fight right there. I think that should be the next one. And next up, I think I've spoken about all the undercards fights I want to speak about. Fury versus Usyk. Listen, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. And this is not coming from any kind of, firstly anyway, it's coming from a Fury hater place. I'm just happy for Usyk. I'm very, very happy that someone who I believe is a great role model for boxing and has wanted this for so long, like, has actually achieved his dreams. Undisputed cruiserweight champ, undisputed heavyweight champ. He is no doubt the best cruiserweight of all time. And in the heavyweight conversation, he has to be up there. Now, the fight played out similar to how I expected it. I said in my last breakdown video that Usyk, or don't be surprised if Usyk comes out quite aggressive. And he did. He really came out very aggressive on the front foot. And in talking about this, we have to speak about some of the nonsense that's gone on. We'll talk about the scorecards a little bit later, but I was seeing people like, even Eddie Hearn, disappointing Eddie Hearn, saying that Fury dominated all 6 rounds, the first 6 rounds. I don't know, maybe you're seeing something different live. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but there's no way you thought that. Like, Usyk dominated the first 2 rounds for sure, and I would still give him the 3rd round, but I wouldn't mind if he maybe swung it to Fury. He was on him, on the front foot. A lot of Fury shots were not landing. All the showboating and all that stuff was absolute nonsense. And I was just like, you're doing all this, but you're getting hit and you're getting backed up. So Usyk, for me, won the first 3 rounds. Then it got into the 4th round, and when the Fury started to find his rhythm and catch Usyk on off time with a nice jab up the middle, really kept caught with that jab a good few times, and that rare uppercut, which again I said in my last breakdown video to watch out for. He was hitting it, and Usyk really caught him with a couple of them there in round 4. Started going to the body, and again, Fury doesn't have that type of power. It's just that he had that type of body weight behind him. So he was throwing some good shots, but they were very much arm punches, but it still did affect Usyk quite badly. So I did start to get worried there, and I thought, oh man, like, from the showboating, and now it's starting to come into play. Now it's looking like, yep, I was getting touched up, but it doesn't matter because now I'm coming to work. Fury started to find his groove, and as much as I don't like Fury as a person, he did very, very good stuff in that ring. Round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7, that was all Fury's rounds. He really found his groove, he found his momentum, and he won those rounds quite clearly to me. Now we get into round 8. Round 8 was a bit more even and back and forth. It seemed like Usyk had got his second wind. Somewhere in that round, Usyk lands, I believe it was a left hand right to the nose of Fury. Bow! Bust it open. I didn't notice that at first. I just saw blood on Usyk's chest and I thought it was coming from Fury's eye. I thought he opened the cut up. I was like, oh, this could be it. And then I noticed after, like, Fury was backing up quite a lot, trying to hide that nose, like get it away. And I've had a broken nose in a fight before, or not, maybe not broken, but damaged nose. It's not nice. I can even hear it now, some of the after effects from it. It's not nice. Like, you try and get your nose away from it, even in sparring, and trying to get your face away from getting hit square on again. And Fury was very much doing that, backing up, and became negative from being on the front foot in those other middle rounds, now to round 8, being hit very powerfully, being damaged, and visibly moving back. And Usyk put the pressure on. Usyk was a lot slower in this fight in general. I feel like age is catching up with him a lot now, which is very sad to see, but he was a lot more aggressive. I did say to Matt, I was watching, I said, like, he looks a bit stiffer than usual. Like, he's not as fluid as usual, but that aggression did come. It was for a reason, and it worked. He pushed Fury back, hurt him in that 8th round, broke his nose, I believe it was, or at least damaged his nose, not broke. Pushed him back. Fury's against the ropes, and he's getting caught with other shots as well. He starts going out towards Usyk's left side, and he gets caught on the way out a couple of times. You know, we did see a few points of Usyk lunging in, and he did struggle a little bit with that distance and range, more than he usually does, because obviously it's so hard to figure that out, but he did figure out a way. Then we get into that 9th round, so the 8th round is definitely Usyk's. That's 1, 2, 3, that's 8, that's already 4 rounds done. You get into that 9th round, and of course we have what should have been a stoppage, according to my bet sheet. Dang it. He got held up by the ropes I believe 4 times. He bounced many different directions. Usyk catches him with a good few shots. Like, Fury again got a little bit too greedy and switched off while Usyk was in the pocket. The backhand comes over the top, clips his chin, bow, he gets moving. I've not seen Fury that hurt before. I've not seen that hurt. He was lucky it was at the end of the round, because I believe Usyk could have finished him. You know, he did kind of punch himself out a little bit, but he was doing a good job of it. The ref was absolutely shocking for the whole fight, and that was just the highlight of his shockingness. There was points where Usyk was complaining a bit too much. I will give you that. Like, Fury hit him to the body a couple of times that Usyk was saying it was low, and it wasn't low. But there was a few times where Fury did hit him low, and rather than the ref, this is so strange, rather than the ref say anything to Fury, he didn't even look at Fury's direction. He looked at Usyk and just said, keep him up. He was just staring at Usyk, and I was like, what? Like, then he was hitting him a couple of times. Usyk compared to the back of the head. Again, some of the stuff I don't think it was to the back of the head. I'll have to watch it back. But because of Fury's levers and how long he is, sometimes some of the shots were hooking and cupping to the back of the head. The ref, once again, was talking to Usyk rather than warning or speaking to Fury. It was bizarre. And then we get, with that 9th round, 8 count, like, ref should either let him go, you know, let Usyk continue, or he should have called it earlier when Fury got kept up by the ropes. You know, I don't really have a problem with the fight not being stopped there. Like, it could have been, like, other refs probably would have stopped it there. I don't think it would have, because it seemed like people wanted Fury to win. But I don't have an issue with that. It's the undisputed fight. It's the first undisputed in 25 years. You can't controversially stop it. Give him every chance. I understand that. So I don't really buy into that as well. Like, I'm glad it went on a little bit, but I feel like he could have stopped him. And then we move into the 10th round. This is kind of a bit of a swing round here. No, it isn't actually. I believe Fury did very, very well to recover. Very well to recover. He recovered so well in that round. I don't believe Fury has a good chin. Everyone's saying this nonsense. If you get knocked down again and again and again, you don't have a good chin, but he has good powers of recovery. If someone with real power, like AJ, knocked him down, you're not getting up. You're not getting up. When you get up, you're going to get put back down again. Someone like Wilder, who has the power but doesn't have the finishing capabilities and can't follow up, then obviously it's not really as much of a threat. Like, everyone has put Fury down now, like, not everyone, but a lot of people in this career. So let's not talk about the Fury iron chin nonsense anymore. Yeah, anyway, get carried away with that. But in round number 10, he did recover very well. Did start to bring it back a little bit at the end of the round. Round 11, for me, I was still think round 10, sorry. Let's still give that to Usyk though. Usyk, I still think had that round, but if you scored that a 10-10, fair enough. But I don't think you can argue for Fury having that round. Round 11, most definitely Usyk's round in that round. Yeah, he again was putting the pressure on once again. It seemed like he started to recharge his gas tank a little bit, putting that pressure on, putting Fury in the back foot. And Fury was missing a lot of his shots in that round. I was connecting with elbows when he was going to the body, so those shots weren't connecting. We're going to round 12. Some people have given that to Fury, but for me personally, again, I would probably edge to Usyk, but I wouldn't mind either way, so we can call it a swing round. For me, I scored the fight 7-5, Usyk, and then also with a knockdown in the 9th. I don't understand how you could score that fight for Fury. Some people saying draw. Nope, I don't understand how you can score that a draw either. And what gets worrying is that there's boxers doing this. I think Dominic Ingle came out and said some stuff like, Gervonta Davis is like, oh, one good round doesn't make a fight. Like, what are you talking about? So you missed the first, second, third. You missed the 8th round when he hurt his nose. You've missed all of this work. You've missed the pressure. What are you talking about? Absolute nonsense. Like Ryan Garcia, talking nonsense. And these are boxers. Anyway, they might be great in the ring, but watching from the outside and understanding all facets of how to judge a fight, I don't believe so. Or maybe it's just that their bias overrules it and they can't remain unbiased. So yeah, it's really, really a strange thing. I spoke about in yesterday's video. Then, you know, getting on the mic, Fury getting on the mic, saying what he said about people siding with Usyk because of the war. Absolutely despicable. Despicable. Then it went even more despicable when they went to the press conference and then said that Usyk had a broken jaw. He had no broken jaw. He had an old injury that had to be checked on a CT scan, and then they came straight to the press conference talking absolutely fine. The warrior. Yeah, so let's stop all of this nonsense. I will say Tyson Fury did very, very well in the fight, but I still regard him as a fraud. I still feel like this proves why he's been trying to avoid him all this time. He gave him a loss. That's one side of it. The other side of it is he hurt him. We need to acknowledge these things, people. We can't let Fury keep getting away with the nonsense. I don't want to see a rematch. I want to see Usyk retire. I know he probably won't, but you know, in that rematch, I feel like Usyk's age is catching up with him. If Fury changes tactics and started coming head on in that first round and actually to put the pressure on a little bit more like he did for round 4, 5, 6, I feel like it might be a different fight. You know, I still would edge towards Usyk. I'm not going to bet against him for it, but it will be a different fight. But I don't really want to see it again. You know, I feel, yeah, Usyk deserves to go or sail off into the sunset. Or we see it again and Usyk stops Fury, and that would actually be flipping amazing. I know there's a lot of Fury, like, people who are die-hard fans who still, so I've seen some people like, Fury was cheated, he was robbed, and I think people are just trolling at this point because there's no way you can think that. You know, like if you argue for a draw, it's still, for me, it's ridiculous. You can even argue for that, but there's no way you can even argue that Fury won that fight. Or you literally don't know boxing. And I hate to be that person because I hate people who have that boxing snobbery and to say that, but what did you think of the fights, the whole card? Like, what did you think of Fury, his antics? What do you think of Usyk? Another thing to talk about before I go, actually, we need to talk about John Fury once again, an absolute cretin. Why are you talking over the head trainer in the corner? This shows, I said this from my last video about him, he should not have been in the camp at all. Or not in the camp, should I say. He shouldn't have been in that corner at all. It shows like he's just not, I said he was Tommy Fury's head trainer. I said it in one of my other videos. He's Tommy Fury's trainer. And we see what's happening with Tommy Fury. You know, like you have Sugar Hill there saying one direction, and you have John Fury trying to say something else or speak over the top of him. You need one voice in that corner. And if it's not one voice, it's one person just saying the same thing. You need to be saying the same thing and not at the same time. What did you think of the Ring of Fire? Undisputed cruiserweight and heavyweight king has been crowned. Alexander Usyk. What's next for him? What's next for Tyson Fury? Should the rematch happen? Let me know. Comment below.